shave fans, shaving cadre fans, type 2 diabetes rescued by keto fans, super curve honing fans, and hopefully my special guest who I'm tagging in, Dr. Matt. Doc, I don't believe you know me. I don't know if you ever see my videos or not, but I'm tagging you in on this because I have, please forgive me if I am being a little presumptuous. It's not my intent. To start off, not too long ago, I saw Dr. Matt do a video where he had said that he was considering doing some testing with convex hones. I've been doing this from the early, very, very early stages, and I thought, in keeping with the title, is straight shaving all that still? And I want to talk about that a little bit too. But in Dr. Matt's, I'm going to go ahead and get going so I'm not talking too much. So I'm using Simpson's Emperor 3 brush. I'm using Mitchell's Wolf Fat. And razor will come up in a minute. I did use Proraso pre-shave. It's been on for a little while. Anyhow, I was a little surprised. I think that was the video that Dr. Matt did where he had said that there were people. Let me back up on that, okay? Dr. Matt and I both see an issue with sharpening razors. And that is that many times you lay a razor on the stone and they don't match up perfectly. Now, he has come up with a method that he likes to use to address that. And he changes the shape of the razor. Okay, and I don't have a problem with that. If you use your razor, you should be able to do whatever you want with it. Okay. I, on the other hand, have, it sounded like a good idea when I first started hearing Jared Connerty talking about it, was changing the shape of the stone. And he's not the originator of it. Most of what I'm doing, I'm following the Ancient Grinder's Handbook from 1840, where it talks about multiple curvatures and different grits and that sort of stuff. And I made other videos on that. But if you have a razor and if you have a stone and they don't match up, there's one of three choices you have. One, you can change the stone. Two, you can change the razor. Three, you can try and move the razor across the stone, and that's where it requires, it presents some difficulty, and it's not something that I ever got proficient at. A lot of people say they're proficient at it. I just don't know with, as bendy as some razors I've seen. I don't know how to do that. But anyhow, what I thought I would do is, and I'm gonna tag in a couple of references, and I'm hoping, Dr. Matt, I'm hoping you catch this early on. I'm gonna tag in a couple of references who have used tools that I've sharpened. One of which will be the very same tool I'm get ahead of myself. I intend to send this tool to you as maybe a precursor to your consideration for shaping stones and going through what is needed to get this. I'm going to send this to you. And I went back and I looked at your videos and I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to send a check for, I think you hone razors for $27, which is a quite good rate. But guys that are a pain in the A, I think you put it, you charge them $37. So I'm a pain in the A. I know that. I'm certified at that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to include a check for $37, and I'll get to why the who, what, where, what, and why as I go along. The idea is, and I'm going to shave with this razor. This razor is, and I know you're a fan of this particular blank form on TI. This is a 6/8. This is the full extra hollow. This is the Avid Sonant. It has the plastic scales. You recommend a similar razor to this, except the half hollow, as a good starter razor. I love this razor. I have two of those. I bought one, and this was where it was one of these tools where I originally came to a new heights with my honing method in what I call a super curve. I understand you have the plates that you can shape stones pretty much into the same shapes that I got. I've probably shaped maybe 20 different stones over time. This is in the spirit of fun and exploration is where I'm doing this. Not who hones better than who, because I really don't care. Because the only person that I need to make happy with my honing is this guy right here that you're watching. And, that's all I really care about. But if I can share some information on something that's been successful for me, and somebody picks that up, and this is something that Dr. Matt has done. Go back through his videos, look at him, and he freely shares information and makes suggestions, always on a very, very positive note. And then to find out and to hear that there were people who tried to get him thrown off of YouTube. I mean, get this. This had to be from the International Association of Honemaster Superiors or something like that, or the International Guild of Honemaster Superiors. And I'm fully experienced in that because I've been thrown off of a shave forum by probably these same guys and these same people who did this. I mean, be real. Who is going to throw a guy, call up YouTube and get a guy thrown off for talking about how he sharpens razors? I mean, it's like, for crying out loud. It's like, that is utterly ridiculous. But I could probably name the names, okay, of the people that did that. Anyhow, I'm going to start with the shave, and the people I'm tagging in are people, one who is kind of your neighbor who has used this and liked it, and the other is, I'm going to have to say, my primary mentor in learning this method of honing, and he's also a gentleman that you know. So I'm going to shave with this. I have two of these. So, and this tool I've put together as a tool to do exactly what I'm doing with it, as a pass around. And what I would like you to do, and after I shave with this, I will sanitize this in barbicide. I will give it a retouch on the final steps of my honing, so it is just like this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put I'm going to take like a Q-tip and put a little bit of a petroleum product right on the edge. I don't think I have to worry about rust elsewhere, but I'm going to put some right on the edge to make sure that edge is as best as I'm able to present it in the same shape as it is right now, and the way I would consider it fresh off of the sharpening process. I don't know if you have the time, Dr. Matt, to go through and to check my other videos. It's not necessary. But I have cataloged my work. And I'll put in a picture that I took of when I was honing this, where I basically have 3 different stones. 2 are soft arcs. This is like a 3-foot wheel. The other one is like a 4-foot wheel. And then the 4-foot wheel being the dimension on your 9x11 plate, or is it 9x12? 9x11, I think it is. Plate. It's the long dimension. This is the final step. And my middle stone is like this on the short dimension on that. And I use Nano Superstone slurries. On this. It's what I have evolved to because I like the lower maintenance of an Arkansas stone compared to a synthetic stone. And Nano Superstones do require some maintenance. I found that they do require a little bit more touch-up work. And I bought some inexpensive stones, and I found that some of the inexpensive water stones were more prone to cause a chip out, and even the Nano Superstones that I shaped were more prone to cause a chip out than when I was working on the arcs with a slurry. And that's just me. It's just how it evolved. Okay, it's where I'm at now. But the progression that I went through on this razor was the deepest, and I know you call back beveling something different than I do. But when I use the term back bevel, I'm referring to how much curvature I'm putting in where behind the particular edge. And the first curvature that I use goes deep into there. That I use with a super stone slurry of 1000 grit. Then I go to the 4-foot dimension as if it was a 4-foot wheel, and I'm at a 5000 grit. Then I go long ways on an arc that I shaped that way with a 10,000, or I'm sorry, a 12th Nano Superstone 12,000 grit Nagura slurry on top of that. And then I finish on a Suhiro 20K shaped in the dimension as the plate is, with the long dimension on the long dimension of the stone, short dimension on the short dimension of the stone. And then I go to a series of strops. Now, I do regret, okay, I'm going to send this razor along, and I do regret that I don't have a strop to send you. A lot of times I've sent stuff out for people to test, and I've made some of these balsa strops, and I've sent them out, and I really like those. Okay, and here's one here. This is shaped on the dimension of that plate where you could barely see the curve there. You can see the curvature a little bit more there going across. And this particular one is loaded with 10th micron CBN. And I know you do use, I don't know if you still have any of the 10th micron, but that's how I maintain these. on another topic to my diabetes fans. I had my 6 months after having an A1C of 8.8. I had my doctor appointment this week. My A1C is now into the normal range. It's on the high side of normal, but my A1C is 5.6. I'm sitting here yakking. Getting out of my routine. Something I wanted to say about the title about is straight shaving, all that, or straight razors, all that. I enjoyed that video, and I encourage those of you who catch in to go back and watch that, and then this will demonstrate, I think that's the one, okay, where Dr. Matt was working to try and find a razor, an edge, something for one of his friends, contacts, customers, who was skilled with a shavette, okay, wanted to shave with a straight razor, but just had not ever found a particular combination of tool edge that worked for him. And Dr. Matt loaned one of his personal, maybe more than one of his personal razors, higher end custom razors, to this individual. And the guy was able to do, with Matt's help, his first true straight razor shave, and he was very, very happy with it. I saw the video of him doing so. Why would the International Association of Honemaster Superiors want to get a guy thrown off of YouTube who does stuff like that? They should be ashamed of themselves, but they're not. Anyhow, Dr. Matt, when you get this razor, try it. That's what I'm going to ask you to do. Take this razor, try it, shave with it. You can feel free to do as you see fit. You can video it. You can talk about it. If you don't like it, be honest with whatever opinion you have about it. This is about information exchange. This is about having fun. Okay, something that some of the International Association of Honemaster Superiors don't want you to really have. But you can take this, and I use a microscope. I can't get photos on my microscope. It's a stereo binocular microscope where I'm looking at the curves and the different abrasions I'm putting on it. I welcome you if you have a really nice, it seems like a really nice USB scope that's hooked up to your computer. If you want to take this, put that on there, look at it. Anything you want to do is on the table. And I am completely open to, if you don't like the edge, okay, I'm completely open. I'm giving you the funds to do so. So I am completely open to you rehoning this to an edge that you feel suits you and that you like, and I would love to try it. This very razor went to a individual who had a very, very similar scenario to the person that you helped out on the straight razor shaving, all that video. I really like this. I thought this was super, okay? It did not do it for that fellow. It did not do it. He is a skilled shaver with shavette razors. He just has not found the right straight razor for him. He tunes in once in a while. I welcome him to contact you. You might be able to help him out as well. He loves open blade shavings. He loves to shave with open blades and would love to be able to take part in this little fun we have in taking a razor and sharpening it and shaving it with it, and the whole thing that gives us this little space of escape from some of the day-to-day. So I'm pretty happy with that shave. I usually do a thing that Barber Dave calls as patented as flat blading down under here, but this is an evening shave for me, so I'm not going to do that. But that was a very good shave. That was as good a shave. I did notice a couple of little red spots that came up. That's not unusual if I don't do a lot of extra prep for my shaves in the evening. It usually doesn't happen when I come out of the shower in the morning. And as Long Haul Tanker says, if it ain't bleeding when it's done, he ain't cut. So, that's the shave. So, Dr. Matt, that's how it was finished. Shave with it. Make a video, or if you want to take this private, let me know in the comments section, and we can correspond privately. Forgive me if I am imposing in some fashion upon you to do this, but what I'm thinking, my thought was I know how much is involved in the process of going through shaping stones and the development. It may be something. It may not be something that you want to do. It may not be an improvement over results you're getting. I like what I'm getting, but this will give you a jump start into help making the decision on whether it's something you really want to spend some time in and pursue. In the event you don't like this edge and you think this is just no damn good, and you can send my razor back. You can hone it if you want. It doesn't matter. Okay. And if you want to get rid of, if you don't like it, you don't want to pursue it, and you want to get rid of your stone shaping plates, I do know a barber across town from you that'll be glad to jump in his car and drive over and pick up those plates if you don't want them anymore. And he is one of the ones who has shaved with my stuff. The balm I put on was the Proraso balm, and then I'm gonna finish up with the Sterling Citron Glacial. I like to, when I do an evening shave, and then I like to try and stick with straight citrus type things. so that I'm going to choke myself in the middle of the night on something that I overdid. So that's the shave. And Dr. Matt, if you're amicable, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Give this a shot. I hope you like it. If you don't, that's okay. And once again, I'm sending this in this fashion, unannounced, no strings attached. You can treat it as you will. You may, if you want, you can rehone it. Okay, this was a razor. This is, these are not cheap. They're not real expensive, but they're not cheap. It is what I consider a somewhat expendable tool because I have another one exactly like this. So that's what I go through, and then usually when I'm done, I do use a curvy strop. Okay, and I don't use a hanging strop pretty much at all anymore. So if you are doing multiple shaves with it, a paddle's okay. If you want to take one of your best finishers, okay, because the Ancient Grinder's Handbook talks about going through more coarse, more curve, less coarse, or finer, less curve, and then they ultimately go to flat. I don't finish with flat. The only flat thing I finish with is a roux strop on a roux bench strop. That's all I do when I go to finish. I don't hit a stone. If you think you want to change this and you want to hit it on a flat stone, if you want to play with it, play with it. It's yours to experiment with as long as you wish. If you like it and you wish to pursue it, I don't know what the time frame on this is, but I do have a set of stones, Nano Super Stones from 1 to 12K that I put together as a kit to loan out. It's in Missouri, and I have a whole set of strops that I use, the progression of strops made up on these big old blocks, and that particular set, when the friend who has that is finished with that, that is destined to go to the Tucson area, to Barber Dave, for him to do some evaluations and work on some of his razors. So that has the Nano Super Stones. It also has some inexpensive stones, water stones that need soaking, that are more on the curve like this, okay, to get the back bevel in. Bunch of different grits on those. When that hits into Tucson, if this is something you want to pursue, you have the shaping plates. Barber Dave does not, okay? So these can go over, and you can play with my stones if you want to. Forget I even said that. You may experiment with the abrasive pieces that I have shaped for straight razors. I'm gonna get some real. Am I gonna get some stuff on that? Maybe I ought to bleep that out. Anyhow, that's on the table. It's all about having fun. It's all about communication. It's all about helping one another. And Dr. Matt, I do thank you for all of your videos along the way. You have a great following. People love your opinion. That's why another reason why I'm sending this. So I think I can trust that you'll give a straight up opinion. I do got to do a commercial since I'm going to post this up at the Shaving Cadre. It's where I hang out. Anybody wishes to communicate with me, join up over there, and you can PM me or anything like that. So thanks for tuning in. This is Bill, out. Bye.